Hola chulas! Thank you so much for clicking on to this video. And if you are new here, then welcome. My name is Kai, and this is my little corner of chisme on the internet. And if you like what you see, then you should definitely subscribe. Or I checked my notifications on YouTube and realized that I had over 200 subscribers, and that's that sounds like really small potatoes, but I'm from Idaho. I appreciate any kind of potatoes. So thanks so much again just for, if you're commenting or, continuously watching my videos. I do really appreciate it. And yeah.
Can I get your name and where you're from if you don't mind?
I'm Kai.
Kai, can I get the spelling for you?
Straight out of Dogtown, K-A-I.
So what are we going to be discussing today, chulas? Well, I do have some interesting bit of tea about Chantal Marie, Miss Foodie Beauty, who, yes, I have talked about her in the past on my channel. And if you're interested in watching that video to get a more in-depth idea of who Chantal is, you can totally go watch that video. That is a little bit more centered around her food addiction and the things that she has shared about her struggles with food and her weight, and also how she might actually be part of the BD community. If you know anything about that, you don't know, go find out. Go watch the video. You'll learn a lot of things. So yeah, we are talking about the Canadian queen, Miss Chantal Marie, and I'm really making this video because I genuinely don't have anyone else in my life that I can talk to about this, and I need to talk about it. I need to share my feelings because I have so many feelings. To make a very long story super short, Chantal Marie is she started her channel as a beauty channel, then she started doing weight loss content, and then she became a mukbang channel, and then she started doing lots of live streams and everything, and now she has openly admitted to having a cocaine addiction. How did we get here? Well, let me tell you. Sometime this year, we noticed that Chantal had a really sudden shift in her behavior. It happened around her birthday. I don't know, she'd been single for like a year, but all of a sudden started talking about wanting to get like a male escort or like a prostitute, and she started downloading dating apps and starting talking to men. And I guess outside perspective, you might think, okay, well, she just got out of a very long-term relationship, so maybe she took like a year off to focus on herself or to work on herself. If you think that, you haven't been part of this community for very long, because that is not what happened. It just seemed like very out of nowhere that she was very interested in sex, and she was like really open that she was like really wanting to like start dating again. So she started breaking COVID rules out in where she's, in Quebec where she is, or she's in Quebec or Ottawa? She's in Ottawa. Out in Ottawa where she is in Canada, she started breaking the COVID regulation to go out and meet with men and do, whatever. Yeah. So she just started like exhibiting a lot of more reckless behavior very suddenly. And it just progressively got more and more reckless every time, until eventually she started telling us about this man that she met, and his whole ass life is out there because she legit doxed this man. She legitimately doxed this person that she was dating, and his whole everything is out there for anyone to see. Disgusting. Started talking about this man that she was dating, and she likes to call him Dom, saying that, she presented him very, like he was a real catch, like he was a real top tier guy, I guess. But then she started telling us things about him that very quickly made me feel like he was not such a top tier guy. Basically told us, about how he lives in a trap house, basically, and they had sex on a mattress on the floor. And I literally hate that for anyone, even Chantal. I literally hate that. I hate that I have that information. And eventually at some point she comes on a live stream and tells her audience that her and Dom did coke together. They did a couple lines together, which in my opinion, I don't like drugs like that. I like weed, and I will drink occasionally, but that's really it. So, I mean, if someone wants to occasionally, recreationally use cocaine, that's their prerogative. That's up to them, right? That's them. That's on them. That's not for me, but that's on them. She later admitted to her audience that she had also done a substance, or she had smoked something out of a pipe that had previously been used to smoke meth. And I think that it's one thing to do coke recreationally, like as a party drug, whatever, if that's if that's something that you feel comfortable doing. And then it's another thing to take a hit of a mysterious substance out of a pipe that was a meth pipe. Seems different. She admitted this all publicly of her own volition to thousands of people, with no sense of shame or no sense of regard for the situation that she put herself in and the way that she was making people very concerned about her. It's just this growing conversation, what is going on with her? We've seen her do a lot of really outrageous and outlandish things, for views or for controversy or to get a conversation started. We've seen her do a lot of those things, but I didn't think that she would actually do something like this. I didn't think that she would actually legitimately start doing illegal drugs and actually come on live stream and say that she was addicted to cocaine. Because she did. She came on live and she was shaking and supposedly crying her eyes out, but there are no tears in the video. So she admits that she's addicted to coke. She's been addicted to coke for 2 months, she says. And even throughout this, after the admission and everything, a lot of people are, well, are you still doing it? Are you planning? What are you going to do? No, I mean, because it's one thing to admit that, but what do you do now? What's the next step, mama? And I just again, based off of the information that I have gathered about this woman from the things that she has publicly shared on this platform, is that she is not someone who has a lot of follow-through or a lot of self-control. And if she handles this addiction any way that she has handled her food addiction, then I don't necessarily know how much more of Chantal there will actually be. And I hate to say that. I hate to say that, and I wish that she would wake up and realize that what she's doing is wrong. And if she's doing, for whatever reason she's doing it, I hope she realizes that it's not good for her and that she finds a way to get out of this. But if she is legitimately not careful, this might be the thing that ends up actually ending her life. She has multiple health conditions, and she had stopped taking critical medication in order to sustain her use of cocaine. And I just don't know that I have any experience in being addicted to anything that badly that I would put myself at really even greater risk to continue to abuse a substance or whatever. So I can't speak to that, but I can't speak to any of the experience of what it's like to break from a drug addiction or what it's like to experience withdrawals from a drug like that. But a lot of people are coming out in chats and in comments saying that they don't necessarily think that Chantal is behaving in a way that someone who is detoxing off of something like that would. And I agree with them. She seems very well put together and very much like nothing has changed since this announcement. And there are two schools of thought on this. One, that she is really genuinely addicted to coke, but she's still doing it behind the scenes and pretending like no one knows, that we're all stupid, that no one's going to figure it out. And then the second school of thought is that this is manufactured content for her story. It's another story arc. And in either situation, it's an L. Neither of those situations don't make Chantal not look like an asshole. Chantal is always going to look like an asshole for as long as she continues to do what she is doing. She is literally profiting off of a drug addiction now at this point and manipulating her audience. She was in a live stream the other day saying that that she needed her audience support now more than ever, and if they didn't support her now, then she might be homeless. And if she's homeless, well, then she's really going to get into drugs. But if she heard herself say that, would she agree that that's kind of a really shitty thing to say to people that really care about you, so much so that they're willing to spend a monthly amount of money to engage with you, to talk to you, to be a part of this community that you built? Really, I don't know how she could spin this to make it look or to make herself look better. I don't know what she could do at this point to make herself look better. I really don't. I don't know that she even cares if she looks bad or not, or if she's triggering people or whatever. the really messed up part about it, and I think the part that makes me the most upset with her, is that she has been doing illegal drugs in conjunction with Ozempic, which is a diabetic medication. One of the side effects of it is that it can help the patient lose weight. There are people, you know, that are following Chantal because they see something in her that they see in themselves, or that whatever, they relate to her in some way, and maybe they're on their own weight loss journey. They struggle with their own food addiction, food problems, whatever, have a bad relationship with food, whatever it is. There are people that are, I can't imagine, but there are people that look up to Chantal and see her as a role model. I don't know what that's like, but I know that they exist. And to be telling people that your miraculous weight loss after so many years of struggling and not being able to find the right solution for you is all due to the Ozempic, when really you're behind the scenes and you're doing illegal drugs and you're up at all hours of the night and not feeding yourself, and you're really going to allow people to continue to believe that it's a medication, you're really going to do that to people? That is that is so messed up, because people are literally like, well, if it's so easy, you know, like, oh, I should get Ozempic. You know, people who aren't even diabetic are thinking about taking this medication based off of the results that FOODIE BEAUTY supposedly had. And they're questioning their own weight loss journeys. Like, people who are doing it legit and trying to do it in a healthy manner are frustrated with her because she's just out and about gallivanting with, you know, at a trap house, having sex on a mattress on the floor and losing lots of weight and eating whatever she wants, and supposedly throwing it into the faces of all of her haters that, you know, doubted that she would ever be able to lose weight. Well, this legitimately doesn't count, honey. It doesn't count. You can sit there and feel all high and mighty all you want that you proved something, or that you got one over on the community or whatever, but it's not, because this is sad. This is really so sad. I mean, to think about it, Chantal is just wasting her life, what very little life she has, sitting, you know, with her phone turned on in front of her and live streaming every single second that she has, or every singular thought that she has, and being coddled by this community that she's created, where she can have this fantasy life that she's this Uber influencer and she's gonna, you know, be a skinny legend someday and take a picture in a bikini on a beach in Jamaica and throw it in all of our faces. And as much as I am disgusted by Chantal's behavior, I do kind of want that for her. I do want to see her come to a place where she is comfortable with who she is and she's healthy and she's got a life that she feels is worth taking care of. Because right now I don't see that in her. I don't see that she has any love of herself, like real genuine love. I think that she's obsessed with herself, but I don't think that she loves herself. There's a difference. It's just so much to take in, and so much to, like, there's just so many issues that I have with it, that he's basically sitting on live stream and begging people for money at this point. Like, Chantal has to know that any donation she gets, like, her audience is gonna second guess her. They're gonna give her a little bit of side eye. Like, if I give you this donation, are you gonna use it to buy Coke? A legitimate and fair question. And I would not be surprised if she continues to bleed subscribers and continues to lose supporters, because I don't think that this is something that people are willing to just say, oops, that's just Chantal, that's just who she is, you know, she's always been this way, like, she's just beezing. I don't think this is something that people are willing to sweep under the rug like they have so many other things for so many years now. I think that people only have enough grace and patience for you, girl, and if this is really the story, if it is a story, if it's a story that you want to tell, don't. And if it's a real genuine addiction, maybe don't live stream it. Maybe this is something that your audience doesn't need to be involved in. Maybe this is something that you need to do on your own and work on yourself and work on really asking yourself, why did this happen? Ask the question, Chantal. I don't think Chantal has ever asked an introspective question in her life, literally until she did mushrooms the other night. Which is just, like, amazing to think, right? Like, because I like to think that I'm a very self-aware person. and that I know that there are a lot of really great and amazing things about me, but there are also a lot of things that I need to work on, and places that I'm still growing, and ways that I'm still not the person that I would like to be. I think that I live in such a way that I can be aware of those two things at the same time. And as a result, I like to think I'm a very happy person. Right? And I just don't know that Chantal has that gray area. She's never been able to find that happy medium, right, where she can be continuously working on herself, but also love herself, also recognize that there are good qualities or good traits that she has. At first, maybe she was doing this with Dom because she wanted him to like her. She wanted him to be her boyfriend or whatever. She wanted to keep him around, and she felt like maybe she had to do these things in order to keep his interest. Which, if that was the case, dumb as fuck. That was dumb as fuck too. And not like that, not that I have never done that before, but I just know now that if I have to change to get someone's interest, or to get them to be, to like me or to want to stay with me, then that person doesn't really care about me the way that I am, or the person that I am. They don't really genuinely love me for me. So why put in the time and the effort to make all these changes for someone that doesn't even really fuck with you like that? But, I think that she did. She might have, thought that she had to do these things to keep his interest. And here she finds herself without a man, and now with another addiction. And it's just sad, dude. Like, it's just so sad to watch someone just waste their life, waste their time doing these live streams and profit off of it, profit off of their addiction, profit off of slowly killing themselves, profit off of manipulating their audience, lying to their audience. And in fact, if you did not watch French Red Girl's stream today, on July 3rd, she went live for a little bit. Basically, she went live to discuss some tea that a couple people had emailed her. One, that Chantal was confirmed to be at a hotel in an area of Montreal where it is known to have a lot of these kinds of substances readily available. And that she took a picture of a restaurant and used it as a thumbnail for one of her videos back in March, kind of right around when all of these sudden erratic behaviors started to pop up for the first time. She took a picture of a restaurant, used it as her thumbnail, and that restaurant is exactly 1 mile from Dom's trap house. And this is a person that she is supposedly only have known for the last 2 months. And this picture was taken in March. So the timelines are looking a little interesting, right? That's a little interesting. That's a little suspicious. And I feel like if it does come out that Foodie Beauty has been dealing with this addiction for longer than what she said, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of hell to pay. She's gonna have a fucking reckoning on her channel, dude. Like, people are fed up with it. People are fed up with her constantly lying and gaslighting and manipulating them into supporting her, into thinking like, oh, she'll try harder next time, like she'll do better next time. Because there never is a I'll do better next time. There never is like I'm tired of it. And I just felt like this specifically is so heinous and so dark, dude, like so negative, that she's gonna profit off of something like having a coke addiction and then again continue to monetize it. It's really confusing, as a person who's never had a drug addiction, to think that like someone could just be going along their life and then all of a sudden a couple months later they have this. But Chantal, they have this addiction, but Chantal is someone who has a very addictive personality, and I feel like at 37 you would probably know that about yourself, right? Like, you'd probably be self-aware enough to know that about yourself. Seems like some really critical information. Not to not to get involved in something as addictive as coke or as meth or as whatever of the other things that she may or may not have been doing, dude. Like, it just, I really don't get it. I don't understand people that wish Chantal harm, because Chantal is a human like anyone else, right? And I think that she has inherent value just based off of that fact alone. I genuinely want her to do better. I want her to get better, and I want her to have the success that she's always talked about having in real life, right? I want that to be her reality. But the fact is that I can want that for her for as long as the day is the day. I can want that for her all fucking day long. But she has to want it for herself. And if she doesn't want it for herself, then it's never going to happen. She's never going to actually be able to make any concrete changes to break this addiction, or break her food addiction, or lose weight, or better her life, or whatever she's talked about doing for the last couple of years on this platform. And people out there who are questioning their journey and, kicking themselves because they're, it's so easy, you just go get addicted to Coke and lose 70 pounds. Please don't give up, and please don't take, Chantal as an example of anything other than what you should not be doing with your life. I don't think that Chantal should be a role model in any way, shape, or form, unless that model is what you are planning to do the opposite of. That's just my thought. That's just how I feel, and that's my opinion. And that is my video. If you liked this video, then you can leave it a like. And if you like me, then you can subscribe to this channel, where I will definitely be talking about Chantal more. Because, like I said, I don't have anyone else to talk about this stuff with. And if you guys are down to listen to me talk about it, dude, I could talk about this shit all day. Like, it's crazy. It goes deep. I've never been involved in something like this before. Like, I've never been able to not look away. It's crazy. It's bananas. So I just wanted to, again, thank you guys and express how, really grateful and really geeked out I am that I was able to get over to 200 subscribers. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, amazing rest of your day. Bye, Chulas.